Have you ever felt like everything depends on you? That if you don't show up, things will fall apart? If you rest, things will collapse? If you stop carrying everyone's problems, everything will fail? So many of us wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. But the Bible tells us a powerful story that confronts this mindset head-on. It's the story of Moses, the greatest leader Israel had ever known, and Jethro, a man wise enough to tell him the truth. This isn't just a leadership story. It's a life story. It's a story about burnout, about pride disguised as responsibility, and about the danger of carrying what God never asked you to carry. And most importantly, it's about the blessing of listening to wise counsel. Today, we're exploring Jethro advising Moses, a moment that saved a leader, preserved a nation, and teaches all of us how to lead, live, and last. Stay with me. This message might be exactly what your soul needs right now. Moses had been through a lot. He was once a prince of Egypt, then a fugitive in Midian, and now the leader of over 2 million people. He confronted Pharaoh. He led Israel through the Red Sea. He watched manna fall from heaven and saw water flow from a rock. But leadership didn't get easier. It got heavier. Every single complaint, every dispute, every argument, every question, they all came to Moses. From morning till evening, day after day. Moses wasn't lazy. He wasn't careless or irresponsible. He was overloaded. And that's the danger. You can be completely faithful and still be completely overwhelmed. And that's when Jethro arrives. Moses' father-in-law, a Midianite priest, an older man, a seasoned leader in his own right. Jethro came to visit Moses in the wilderness, bringing Moses' wife and sons. But more importantly, he brought perspective. The Bible says Jethro observed Moses judging the people from morning until evening. He didn't interrupt. He didn't criticize immediately. He just watched. And then he asked one simple but piercing question. What is this that you are doing for the people? Sometimes, wisdom starts with quiet observation. Sometimes, real change begins with a simple question. Moses explained himself. He said, the people come to me for guidance. I judge their disputes. I teach them God's laws. And everything Moses said was true. He was doing a good work. But then Jethro said something incredibly bold. What you are doing is not good. Not sinful. Not evil. But not good. This is so important. Not everything that is good is sustainable. Jethro continued. You and these people who come to you will only wear yourselves out. The work is too heavy for you. You cannot handle it alone. This wasn't an attack on Moses' character. It was a rescue mission for his soul. Moses probably thought he was being spiritual, responsible, and self-sacrificing. But Jethro exposed a hidden, dangerous truth. God never intended one man to carry everything. Burnout is not holiness. Exhaustion is not obedience. And doing everything yourself is not always faith. Sometimes it's a fear of letting go. Sometimes it's a need for control. Sometimes it's even pride. And sometimes it's simply not knowing a better way. Jethro didn't accuse Moses of sin. He guided him toward wisdom. So Jethro gave Moses a clear, divine strategy. It was a plan built on delegation with wisdom. First, he told Moses to remain connected to God. Pray, teach his laws, and represent the people before him. This was his primary role. Second, delegate responsibility. Appoint capable leaders, men who fear God, are trustworthy, and hate dishonest gain. Third, create a structure. Appoint these men as leaders over thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. Finally, share the burden. Let these leaders handle the minor cases, while Moses would handle only the most difficult matters. This was revolutionary. Leadership was no longer about one person doing everything. It was about empowering others to share the load. Now here's what makes this story so extraordinary. Moses listened. Think about that. This is Moses, the man who spoke to God face to face, the man who parted the Red Sea. Yet he humbled himself before the advice of his father-in-law. The Bible says, Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. That one sentence is incredibly powerful. Great leaders listen. Weak leaders resist correction. Moses didn't argue. He didn't defend his ego. He didn't say, well, God didn't tell me that. He listened. And because he listened, everything changed. So what changed after Jethro's advice? First, Moses had the strength to endure for the long haul. Second, the people received faster justice and weren't waiting in line all day. Third, new leaders were developed and empowered. Fourth, the entire nation became more organized and efficient. And fifth, Moses could finally focus on his most important tasks, prayer and receiving direction from God. Everyone benefited. This is what God desires: healthy leaders, strong communities, and shared responsibility. God never designed leadership to destroy the leader. This story is deeply relevant for us today. You might be a pastor, a parent, a business owner, a ministry leader, a caregiver, or just the strong one everyone in your family depends on. And you're tired. You love God, and you love people, but you are exhausted. Jethro's message to you is clear. You don't have to do everything to be faithful. You need wise counsel. You need shared responsibility. You need rest. You need structure. God works through people, not just through pressure. Jethro saved Moses from burnout. And by listening, Moses saved a nation. The question for us is, who is your Jethro? Who has God placed in your life to speak wisdom to you? Don't silence them. Don't dismiss them. Listen, because sometimes the advice that saves your life doesn't come from heaven with thunder and lightning. It comes from a wise, loving voice right here on earth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.